What the heck is going on with these insurance companies? I am sure if you drive a car or possibly own your own home, you got a letter stating that your policy either wasn't going to get renewed or the policy monthly was going to go up, which is what we call the premiums. Why is this happening? And in the real estate world, it actually affects us a lot. And you, as a homeowner or a buyer, it can affect you too. So I kind of want to share with you some things that we've been experiencing. So first things first is that one of the main reasons these insurance companies are leaving the state of California is because the California commissioners were not allowing them to increase their policy premiums. Again, with inflation, like everybody kind of has to get on the wagon, right? Like once one price goes up, everybody has to kind of follow to make up for inflation. So with that said, insurance policies were being affected. California was not allowing them to do that. So how does that affect us in California? Because of that, most of the insurance companies that we know of were leaving California because those restrictions were not out of state. And I'm going to talk about State Farm Insurance in particular because I actually have State Farm and I know a lot of clients of mine do as well. So they actually were one of the insurance companies that were planning to leave California, and they recently were approved to do insurance increase. So what that means is this year, 2024, if you have State Farm Insurance, I assure you this, check your policy or any information that you have, letters that have come in. By, I believe, February 26th, auto insurances will go up by 21%. And for homeowners, that will be in about March 10th or so. So I want to share with you, how does this affect us in a transaction? I think people don't think about this. So typically the moment that you enter escrow, assuming that you are financing the property, if you're an all cash buyer, this doesn't really apply to you because you can get your homeowner's insurance after. You do not need it to close a transaction. So when my clients enter contract, one of the things that need to be done is we need to order homeowner's insurance. So think about this for a second. If your lender pre-approved you, remember when they pre-approve you based off of the mortgage payment, the property taxes, the homeowner's insurance, if there's HOA, and think about if the quote that we initially were given is now higher by the time you went out there, started shopping and enter contract. Because you have to remember, once you get pre-approved and actually enter contract, you still have to provide the lender with supporting documents just so they can make sure that nothing has changed. So we have been noticing that insurance companies are taking either too long to provide us with the policy. It is a requirement to close a transaction, or what's happening is it's a ridiculously high price. So especially if you live towards the hills, like perhaps Anaheim Hills, that way towards the mountains, the insurance policy tends to go up because you're more of a fire hazard risk. So think about this as well. So not only as a buyer are you being affected entering contract, trying to find a really good policy, but think about it if you're a seller. So if you're selling a home, let's say in an area where it's considered high fire hazard, some people are rethinking if that's where they want to be, because perhaps they want to be in an area where the fire insurance is not so much. And I say this not to scare you, but rather just for you understand what we experience on the back end. But me as your realtor, that's what I'm here for. I am here to help you navigate all those bumps in the road. So is your lender. But these are things I want you to understand. But you also have to remember that your lender, when he pre-approves you in considering the homeowner's insurance in your payment. So this is not like a separate payment on top of what you've been quoted, which is your estimation from your lender. So just be mindful of that. This is why, to me, it's so important when my clients get pre-approved, I want to make sure that they understand their property taxes, their homeowner's insurance, the HOA, if that applies, and everything else that's combined in your total monthly mortgage payment. If my client feels comfortable with that, then there's no problem. Then they can clearly afford the payment and we can confidently home shop. This is something that we talked about in the first time home buyer seminar, but just be mindful. If you are having trouble finding an insurance company, reach out to me. I've actually had some clients give me some really good companies that they've been working with and some ins and outs. So I want to share that with you, but just something to think about. And I hope this helps you, and I'll talk to you later.